Hey guys, we're taking a look at my heroic deck today. The heroic deck is based on using very high attack warrior monsters to annoy your opponent and overwhelm them. So first off, we have Heroic Challenger Double Lance. So this one has decent attack, but also it's nice. If you're able to get Double Lance to the graveyard and you summon another one, it's basically a free XYZ, which can be very nice. Then we have Extra Sword. What's really nice about this card is any XYZ you do will gain 1,000 attack. So obviously you'll be using it for the heroic cards, but the thing about this card is that you can use it on any XYZ. So you can have a 3,500 Utopia, a 3,100 Black Ship, something like that. So you can bring out very strong XYZ monsters along with their powerful effects. Then we have Swordshield, 2,000 defense. This card is basically the same as Wabaku. You can send it to the graveyard and then you can't take battle damage and your heroic monsters won't be destroyed by battle. So it's pretty nice. It's also nice to have an easy way to get this card to the graveyard. Then we have one of these guys, Heroic Challenger Spartan. This card's nice because it can gain the attack of another heroic monster. So after you already have a powerful XYZ out, you could bring out Heroic Challenger Spartan, which will let you control the field pretty well. Then Goblinbergh, great choice in this deck, obviously, to special summon your 4-star monsters and get your XYZs out very quickly. Then Bergzak, it's a very strong warrior monster, and because you always have warriors in your hand, it won't be much of an issue to use him. The Neo-Spacian Grand Mole to deal with a bunch of different cards. Then we have Dust Knight, allowing you to send monsters to the graveyard, which will be good for Double Lance, also good for Grandsoil, which I'll talk about now. So Grandsoil, perfect in this deck. They're all Earth types, and this deck has a really easy time getting things to the graveyard between Dust Knight and the XYZs and Swordshield and all that stuff. So it won't be much trouble to get Grandsoil out, and obviously he's a very powerful monster. Then we have Heroic Chance, the crazy spell card for the heroics, which doubles their attack. If you can pull off some of the XYZs on top of this card, you might be able to hit your opponent for like 5,000 or 6,000 damage very quickly. Then we have Swords of Revealing Light to keep them busy while you're able to XYZ summon. Reinforcement of the Army, obvious with a warrior deck. Same thing with the warrior returning alive. Obviously great in combination with Dust Knight to get what you need. Then we have My Body as a Shield. Obviously protecting your monsters are very important, especially when you're about to get an XYZ out or if you need to defend that XYZ. Forbidden Lance, pretty much for the same reasons. You want to protect your monsters. And Dark Hull MST, Book of Moon, bunch of stable traps, but we also have Heroic Retribution Sword. Just a nice card to really piss your opponent off, making them take the battle damage. Then Call the Hunted, obviously to do more XYZs. And a card I'm just trying out in this deck right now is Malevolent Catastrophe. Since Heavy Storm was banned, people are using a lot of different cards. But I feel like early on this card can be very good for wiping your opponent's traps out and then bringing out your XYZs. Otherwise, mostly staple traps. As far as the extra deck goes, you're going to want to have the different heroic champions. So Gandiva is very nice, allowing you to keep your opponent from special summoning. And so is Kusunaga. Obviously, he's harder to get out with 3 level 4s, but you can negate traps. But the one you'll be using the most, you'll probably have multiple copies of, is Excalibur, because he can make his attack insane. Which combined with, this is the crazy damage I was talking about before. If you detach, he'll be 4,000, and then you use Heroic Chance, and he'll get up to 8,000. So as long as you know your opponent isn't activating any traps, that's guaranteed huge amounts of damage. You're also going to want Blade Armor Ninja, maybe 1 or 2 copies of him. Just a great card because he can attack twice. So a lot of different things that you can do. Then you'll probably put in a lot of the staple XYZs like Utopia, Black Ship, probably Mace Stroke, all those guys. Again, they can all get powered up by Extra Sword. So they'll be good beaters on top of having nice effects. But that's my heroic deck. If you have your own heroic deck, I'd love to see what cards you use, what your deck looks like, anything like that. If you like this video, you can hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. You'll get to see the things I upload all the time. I usually put out decks once a day. I try very hard to do that, and I try to work on them all the time. You can also follow me on Twitter at Remster101 to get updates when I'm going to upload a new video, what I'm working on. If you want to tweet me and talk about my decks or play me or anything like that, it's good to use Twitter for that. You can also check the playlist in the description to see a list of all the decks I've made so far. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.